All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream, and apologies for the short notice on this one. Actually, you know what? Hold on just a second. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen right away, and I'm going to hit this record button. I hope this works out all right. All right. So I just want to start recording this here. So I'm going to record this introduction here because I actually want to make use of this to show what we're going to be demonstrating today. Now, I'm not going to record too terribly much because I don't want to necessarily go too long here. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working with the OpenAI Whisper API. And if you're not familiar with this, so you're probably familiar with transcription services. Apple's got one built in directly to the iPhone where you can talk and it will do your speech to text. And it does an okay job, but it is not necessarily super great. And that's where Whisper really takes it to the next level. So let me go ahead and stop the recording here. Okay, hopefully that recorded okay. Let me play this back. So I just want to start recording this here. So I'm going to record this in. Okay, I don't know if you could hear that, but all right. So the file is recorded, and let me save this really quick. And then, well, actually, yeah, let me go ahead and save this really quick. All right, file, export as. My mic is really hot, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to call this live stream intro, and I'm going to save this to the repository that I'm working in. Okay, all right. So that way you know I'm really doing this like live, I guess. All right, so yeah, I wasn't planning on doing a live stream today, honestly. So I have been in Atlanta all week with my team for work. It was a really great trip, really busy trip. I met some people that I've worked with for 3.5 years that I've never met in person. It was awesome, but we made the most of our days for sure. I was up, around the clock. It felt like, and yeah, it was. So I wasn't planning on doing one today, but I started to get into because I knew I wanted to do a live stream on this specific topic today. And so I started looking into it this morning, and I literally learned what the core of what we're going to do today in about 5 minutes. Now, I'm not wholly prepared today, and that's okay. Usually when I'm coming wholly unprepared, it's usually quite a disaster. But I'm feeling pretty good about this because we're basically going to, like, the core functionality of what we're going to be doing here is very simple to learn. And what was I going to say? And then, yeah, the other elements that we're going to be building along top of it are going to be using things that we've used in previous live streams. So what I'm thinking about doing today, so I'm just going to we're going to, again, work our way from small to big. Oh, by the way, I am monitoring YouTube and LinkedIn both for questions. So if you have any, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought there. What was I saying? Something about yeah, so okay, so working our way small to big. So we're just going to work in a Jupyter notebook. We're going to use this same introduction here that I just recorded, just to give you a flavor of what this is going to do. And then we're going to build a Gradio application around that. And so if you recall, Gradio is the UI framework in Python that we use to build our last couple little user interfaces. So we built like our Jar Jar Binks chatbot, and we built something else. So that is the part I am wholly unprepared for, but you're going to learn along with me today. I actually think it's going to go fine. We might have a little bit of stumbling here and there, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, I guess one thing. So if you have not seen the previous live streams, it's this one is going to largely build on top of those because we are going to be using the same concepts. So we are going to be using the OpenAI Python library. We're going to be getting an API key and stuff. So I guess my one recommendation is and if you do want to follow along with this live stream, you are going to have to create your own OpenAI account. You will have to provide a credit card, and you will have to generate an API key. And so and again, recall that it's actually I actually did not check the pricing around using Whisper, but just be cognizant. Just remember the fact that in your settings you can actually set where is it, usage limits here. And so I have a soft limit that says, okay, at $10, cut me off, or I'm sorry, at $10, send me an email. At $25, cut me off. And so my current usage is a total of 35 cents. I'm curious because I've only done things today. That's not what I wanted to see. So this might be a little bit more of expensive of a service. I am not sure. All right, where is my usage? Okay. Oh, wow, it is Wait. No, that's from the 5th. Okay, so today. Oh man, yeah. So my testing that I did earlier, like, yeah, it's pretty negligible, but still, just be cognizant of the fact that cost is a concern here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this thing. So recall, I'm just gonna create a new. I'm gonna create a new notebook in here, a Jupyter notebook. Okay. I'm just checking to see that all my stuff is working okay. Do I sound okay? Okay, all sounding good. All right, so new file. I'm gonna call this live stream. Wait, come on. What's going on here? Oh my gosh, can't type right now. All right, new file. Live stream whisper.ipynb. Okay. All right, now we have our Jupyter interface here in GitLab. Let me select my kernel appropriately. All right, so recall that I specifically am saving my API key to a YAML file, and that as part of that, I'm using a git ignore file to not push that YAML file up into GitHub so that the API key is not exposed. So again, I say this every time, but I feel like I always have to reiterate it. Be very careful with your API key. There are, unfortunately, nefarious bots out there that comb GitHub for these things all the time, and people will rack up your bill. So just be very, very careful about that. Okay, so actually, let me make this interface a little bit bigger for y'all. Okay, and I'll go ahead and close this down for a second. Okay, so the first things, we're just going to need to import only 2 things to get this whole thing going. So we're going to import a YAML, and that is just to load in my API key. And then we're going to do the OpenAI library. All right, let's go ahead and run those. No thanks. Okay, take a sip of my water. I'm on water today because, like I said, we were in Atlanta this week, and I need a detox. We ate some good food and stuff, and I was, when they say when in Rome, I guess when in Atlanta. But like, yeah, so my body has just been craving water, I guess. So no Polar Pop today. Okay. All right. So we need to load in the API keys. So we're going to do that with open, and I have them saved to a directory here called keys. OpenAI keys.yaml and as f. All right, and then keys YAML equals YAML.safe load f. All right, and then we're going to use the keys from this YAML, the organization ID and the API key as such. So we're going to do OpenAI.organization equals keys YAML org ID, and then OpenAI dot API key equals. I didn't even notice that there was like an API path there. I don't know if you saw that for a second when I tabbed over. I wonder what that does. I don't know what that does. All right, so keys YAML API key. There we go. All right. So that is the same thing that we had to do whenever we played around with the ChatGPT-like functionality. Okay, so that's that. So the first thing we need to do here is we actually need to load up the audio file that we just recorded. So I'm going to call this audio file. Audio file equals open, and so I put this in the data directory. If you recall, I called it live stream intro. So in case what this is going to do is we are going to take the audio from this clip, and we're basically going to upload it to OpenAI, and it is going to do its magic behind the scenes to provide a transcription for us. And so, again, this is all going to be really, really easy. I'm going to open this in read binary format, RB. Okay, so audio file. And I am going to keep this open. You notice that I did the with open as piece here. I don't know if you can do that or not. I was just reading the documentation really quick, and I didn't test things out. Like I said, I spent maybe 5 minutes preparing for today's stream. I spent more time creating the little graphic for the YouTube, what do you call that? I always forget, thumbnail, the YouTube thumbnail, than I did actually for researching this thing. So, all right, so there's that. And then I'm going to call this transcript equals OpenAI audio.transcribe And then we have to pass in 2 parameters. So we have to pass in the model name. So this is going to be very familiar to y'all that we're in the ChatGPT one. So in the ChatGPT one, we had to pass in either Text DaVinci 003 or GPT 3.5 Turbo. And in this case, we are naturally going to pass in Whisper, more specifically Whisper 1. And then we're going to pass in our file, so audio file. So this is going to probably take, I don't know, a minute or so. Like I only tested this on like 10 seconds of audio before, and it wasn't terrible. Oh, wow. That was much faster than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so it's done. So let's go ahead and look at the transcript and see how it did. Now, I did have a couple of vocal tonality issue, like what do you call those? Like vocal hiccups whenever I was talking. So I'm curious to see how I handled it. So we see here. So I just want to start the recording here. So I'm going to record this introduction here because I actually want to show what I'll be demonstrating today. Now, I'm not going to record too terribly much because I don't want to go too long, necessarily too long here. But we're gonna, all right. So okay. So first things first. I mean, so far this is really accurate. But the one thing I do want to note here is that it's starting to get syntax, well, I guess not syntax, but grammar corrects here. So you can see that it knew I am referencing the OpenAI Whisper API because it appropriately capitalized the W here. And if you're not familiar with this, so you're probably familiar with transcription. You know, Apple's got one built in that will do text to speech, and it does an okay job, but not great. And that's where Whisper really takes it to the next level. So, okay, so what it did was it looks like it appears that it took my vocal hiccups, like the ums and the ahs, and it kind of cropped them out. And then it pointed out the fact to me that I begin my sentences too often with these conjugations here. So, like every single sentence in here starts with a so or an and or a but or something, and that's probably right. I think I do speak that way in real life. But so that you can see, like, you know, this is next level. I'm not sure any of the transcription services that I've ever used before are really this good. And I really wish I had another individual here with me. That way we like if you know, because I'm not sure like what it would do with 2 different voices. Like, but if you actually go out to OpenAI's website, so let me just go out to the general OpenAI Whisper, introducing Whisper, you can actually kind of see a couple different examples of things that would work, and it even shows like it can like grab like the audio from using. Okay, I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm gonna stop just in case there's something like copyright whatever there. But anyway, so that was a bit of K-pop music, and so not only did it have music in the background, but it also is able to do this translation. And from what I've read on the internet, it does a pretty good job with translation. I don't want to say it's perfect necessarily with translation, and that is the one piece I did not necessarily play around with it also. And I'm curious if I can figure that. Like let's look at the API reference guide here, because basically all I showed you, that is the core of today's live stream. Like if you got better things to do, you're not going to really learn much beyond this. That was it. That's how easy it is to get this thing working. We're just going to enhance things by taking things to the next level with a Gradio application, just for the fun of it. Because I want to show you. So basically, I don't know if this is what I was going to say. So I was going to basically build a Gradio application and see if we can click a button in the user interface that would allow us to record a bit of audio. And then ask it to summarize that audio, and then using LangChain. So from the previous live stream, LangChain, if you recall, is like where you can like chain multiple prompting kind of things together. So if we use like LangChain, can we after the transcription we summarize it, and then we take that summary and then we do something different with it? I don't know, like whether it be. I'm tired of using the jar thing. I think I've overplayed that, so I'll think of something else here in a bit. But anyway, and then we could have that all displayed very nicely in Gradio. And those were things we already did for the most part in previous live streams. Now, I guess the one thing I've not figured out is how to figure out the specific audio piece of Gradio. But I was looking into it for like a minute. Whenever I was sitting with my girls at lunch earlier in the documentation, and what I just said appears to be possible. So we'll find out if it's actually possible. Looks like my camera's off, so I'm adjusting this up. Okay. All right, what do we want to do next? What did I say we were going to do next? I'm a little bit scatterbrained right now. Okay, so we just did that. I just talked about this. Oh, I wanted to see if I could do the, what do you call it? The translation. All right. So in case you've not used the OpenAI documentation, the API reference guide, it's pretty good. So you'll see off here on the left that these are the stuff that I used for the ChatGPT functionality that we built a couple weeks ago. So you'll notice that you go down to audio here. And this is not the documentation I was looking at, because this is, oh, well, I guess it is. Yes, it is. I'm just looking at it on a bigger screen right now, and it's formatted a little bit differently. Okay, so yes, and it is a related guide, speech to text. Maybe this is the guide I was looking at. Yeah, this is the one that I used this morning. Okay, so you can see that we're using Whisper, and that the file uploads can be up to 25 megabytes. So I don't recall how big the file I just recorded was, but that even if you go beyond 25 megabytes, OpenAI has a nice little thing on how to chunk down your thing appropriately. Yeah, longer input. So you can see here, this is how it's doing the chunking down. Okay, so prompting. All right, I want to see if we can translate what I just said into something else. Okay, so create translation. All right, so I see. All right, so that would have been German, but what if I want, or German to English? What if I wanted to do English to something else? Oh, this only does audio into English. Okay, well, okay, all right, I got an idea here. All right, so I don't know if y'all are aware, but I am, my mom is from Ecuador. So she is a native Spanish speaker. And so I would never say I am fluent at all in Spanish, but maybe I can speak my own little Spanish here. And I'm just trying to think of what I want to say. Because, I was actually talking to some other coworkers the other day who are fluent in Spanish. And, like, they were asking, like, how fluent I am. And I said, well, I'm pretty fluent when I get mad at my kids. Like, because never. I don't want to throw my mom under the bus, but at all. But like that's what I basically do with my kids. If I get mad at them, it's the Spanish. So, I'm trying to think of what I could say. Well, let me just find a simple Spanish phrase. So simple Spanish phrase, and I'll just read it here. Simple Spanish phrase. Okay. Simple Spanish paragraph. How about that? Because I'm really curious to see how this translation thing goes. All right, so Spanish reading for beginners. All right, and then maybe. All right, I really like my new home. All right, we'll read this part here. All right, so let me go ahead and let me close this down here so I can have this side by side. All right, I hope you all don't judge me too bad for what I'm about to do here. Okay. All right, where's my recording thing? All right, I need a new recording. Delete this. All right. We'll export. All right. Okay. All right, I'm going to record now. Me gusta mucho mi casa porque puedo invitar a mis amigos a cenar o a ver el fútbol en mi televisión. Además, cerca de mi casa hay muchas tiendas para hacer la compra, panadería, carnicería, or pescadería. So what that means is I like my house because I'm able to invite my friends over to have dinner and watch football on TV, or, well, I guess specifically soccer. Además, I don't know what además is, if that's a proper noun or what. Cerca de mi casa is close to my house. Oh, wait, gosh darn it, I'm recording still. Dang it. All right, let's trash this. All right, because I don't want the English stuff in there. All right, well, all right, I'm stupid. All right, all right, let's open a new thing here. All right, QuickTime. All right, where are we at QuickTime? We'll read this other one instead. Oh man. I was not expecting this at all. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to read this different paragraph instead. Mi nueva casa está una calle ancha y tiene muchos árboles. El piso de arriba de mi casa tiene 3 dormitorios y un despacho para trabajar. El piso de abajo tiene una cocina muy grande, un comedor con una mesa y 6 sillas, un salón con 2 sofás verdes, una televisión y cortinas. Además, tiene una pequeña terraza con piscina donde puedo tomar el sol en verano. Stop. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see if that actually did that. Mi nueva casa está una calle ancha. All right. It's not perfect, but it's all right. All right, so what does it say? My new house is on a street. I don't know what ancha means, and has a lot of trees. The pool above my house has 3 el piso. Oh, the floor. I don't know what piso. Oh, piscina's pool. I don't know what piso is. Above my house has 3 rooms y un despacho para trabajar. So this is the office, working office, I think. El piso de abajo. So I'm gonna guess piso means floor. So the ground floor has a big kitchen and an eating place with a table and 6 chairs. Un salón. I don't know what a salón is. Con 2 sofas. I'm going to assume that means living room with 2 green sofas, a TV. Well, I don't know why I'm reading this. You all didn't come here for this. Sorry. Okay, so I need to make sure I need to save this appropriately. So I'm going to call this, all right, so export as, all right, Spanish audio. I'm going to call this Spanish audio. All right, now let's go back here. All right, and then how did I, all right, let me make this back into the full thing here. And okay, so it's just translate. All right, so I'm going to say, all right, so transcript equals, oh, I guess I should have, did I keep that up? Because there was a reason, I guess the reason I was speaking it in English is so you know that the transcription is correct. All right, so I'm gonna restart. Well, what am I gonna do here? I am just gonna make use of this Spanish. All right. All right. Open. Or oh my gosh. Data / all right, Spanish audio. Let's go ahead and restart my kernel just to make sure everything's all good to go. And then what? It's not transcribe, it's translate. And I think it's all this, otherwise it's all the same, right? Yeah. So instead of transcribe, we're gonna have translate. All right, and let's see how this does. I've never tested this out before. You are all bearing witness to something. Okay, all right. Audio file. What is wrong with my audio file? UTF codecs can communicate. What is going on here? Oh, that's because I didn't open it in read binary format. Oops. Let me try that again. I think I just, oh my gosh. I accidentally typed in some quotes there. All right, all right, so this is doing it. All right. Did I not run this cell? I thought I did, but I guess not. My new house is a wide street with lots of trees. The upstairs floor of my house has 3 bedrooms and an office. So this first sentence isn't perfect. My new house is a wide street. Well, my new house is not a street. It's on a wide street, but I may have spoken that incorrectly, so I'm going to let that slide. But otherwise, this appears to be pretty darn good. Okay, so dining room with 6 tables, living room with 2. Okay, so I was right. A television and curtains. What was curtains? I'm very curious. Curtains was... cortinas. Okay, I did not know this. Además, I don't know. I guess. Oh, it probably means like also, because más means more. Además, I've never heard of además used that way. Okay, and then it has a small terrace with a kitchen that I can sunbathe in the summer. Ah, okay. Okay, so funny. Language is so interesting. I don't know if you've all watched Napoleon Dynamite out there. So. Classic character in Napoleon Dynamite is there's Pedro, who's like I believe he's from Mexico, and he is one of the main character Napoleon Dynamite's best friends, and he wanted to impress a girl, and the way that he impressed the girl was by making her a cake. And there's the line that he says in English. He says, I built her a cake. And the reason he says I built her a cake is because in Spanish what the verb would be there is uh, oh my gosh, what is, I'm blanking on it right now. But basically, the verb conjugation works in two different ways. So like the translation, when you could say the same Spanish word says I made her a cake, or it's I built her a cake. So, and I don't know why am I blanking on that word, to build in Spanish. No, I don't want that. To make. What para hacer? I guess hacer is correct. So hacer can be translated back into make or build. So that is why in Napoleon Dynamite, when the character says "I built her cake," then that's why he says that, because the translation's kind of funny. So, and the reason I'm kind of laughing about that is because when you see "puedo tomar el sol en el verano," what that literally translates to is "I take in the sol in the summer." So, and taking in the sun is, you know, the equivalent. The more appropriate equivalent is sunbathe. Okay, all right. So you got your Spanish lesson for the day, and you got to see that this transcription is actually really good. So this is actually really cool, because then you can start to do some really now I'm getting all sorts of ideas, because I'm thinking, if you know, let's say hypothetically you have a call center, and part of your call center is dedicated to a Spanish speaking audience, and you are an English speaking supervisor. You wanted to see how the call went. You could have Whisper do the translation for you, and then translate that to English, and then summarize that using the ChatGPT stuff. So you can do that's some really cool stuff. All right, I got ideas. I'm thinking of ideas. All right, but let's get back into what we were actually going to do. So I started to create. I actually did not get that far, so I'm going to open up a Python file here called whisper.py. So this is going to have our Gradio application inside of it. And I'm actually not going to do the audio file load, but I'm going to call this Gradio UI and elements. So we are going to build a new Gradio interface here. Now I'm going to split this off to the right, because I don't want to spend too much of this live stream necessarily on the Gradio pieces. So I'm going to do a lot of, copying, I guess, from this file here. So how do I do the split right? Is that the split right button? There we go. All right, so now we can do the side by side. And let's go ahead. Did I call that Gradio UI and elements? I like to be consistent. Gradio layout functionality. Okay, close, but I actually do like that better. Okay, and then so I'm gonna just copy this here. So as Whisper UI. And I don't know how complex I want to get with this. Like I had just said that I wanted to do something with LangChain, but we could. It's just that would just be a little bit time consuming. And we've already, like I said, if you are watching this live stream right now and you watched the previous live streams, what we're going to be doing going forward is nothing new. It's just going to be more of the same. I mean, I guess there is a tiny bit of a difference that I'm going to try getting the audio recording piece working, but otherwise it's going to be a lot more of the same. So feel free to pop on out if you would prefer. All right, so I'm going to just copy all of this here, paste it down here. Let me put a pass here so it doesn't get screwed with me. All right. Launch. All right, I don't need that because that is not relevant. Launching the Gradio UI. I'll just call it Gradio UI. Whisper UI. All right, so that's the bare bones of the Gradio thing. Well, let's go ahead and just put a header on this for right now. I'm going to call this instantiating the UI interface. And then I'm going to call this header equals gr.markdown. I think that's correct. And I'm going to call this Whisper Gradio UI. All right, so let's go ahead and fire this up. What is the button for that? I'm still getting used to VS Code here. If you recall, I switched over about a month ago from IntelliJ. Been happy with the change, except I'm just not super used to the interface here. I think it's Command J. Is it Command J? It's Command J. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and clear this out. And then if we want to do the Gradio thing here, so I'm going to call, all right, so we need to pass in the file name, and then we need to pass in the name of the what this here is. So I'm going to call this, because what this is doing here is it's actually going to start in a reload mode. So every time we make a change, then it will dynamically reload for us, which will help us give us a preview of what we're going to be doing. All right, so what is it called? Whisper.py and then whisper UI. All right, so okay, let's go ahead and copy that, and then I want to do a side-by-side here, so because I'm going to have the interface up and I'm going to have the Gradio whatever up. All right, it's working. All right, so just to verify that it is working, I'm going to add an exclamation point here. So let's wait a second, and it should reload over here. There we go. All right, so we have our Gradio user interface up on the right. We have our actual code off on the left, and yeah. So what we're gonna do is I need to research. So this is the piece that I am unprepared for a little bit. I need to figure out how to actually do the thing that I was talking about in terms of recording the audio from Gradio, but like I said, I looked at it earlier. It appeared to not be too terribly bad. So, and the nice, I gotta hand it to Gradio. Gradio's got some of the best documentation out there. Not only do they have like a really nice explanation of things, but it also does a live example of things. So you could see here that this is like a click to upload, but I did notice this is the thing that I verified in here, that you can do a record from microphone here. And yeah, so all right, how did they do that? All right, so main note, blah blah blah. All right, so they're just using, okay, so gr.audio source equals microphone. All right, gr.audio, and then oh wait, I gotta call this audio. I'm gonna call this intake. Audio intake equals gr.audio source equals microphone. All right, and let's check this. Oh God, dang it! Why did I just do that? I accidentally clicked out of there. No big deal. Audio intake. All right, you didn't feel on me, did you? What? Are you giving me problems? I can't see. Where is this thing? All right. Well, I guess I probably still have it in my clipboard, don't I? I'm just being a big dumb right now. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. All right, but I don't know how to make use of the. All right. Well, and the other tricky thing is I'm also using my special microphone here, so I hope this doesn't give me a problem. Allow. Hello. I am recording something using Gradio. I don't think that. All right, hello, this is a test. I'm using Gradio. I don't know if it's picking up my audio because I think it might be trying to use my MacBook mic instead of this mic right here. Why can't I hear it? Oh, this stinks. All right, well, let me try to figure this out. So, maybe I should have been a little bit more prepared. This always happens to me. Like, why do I'm never going to learn my lesson, but I need to be fully prepared. All right, so let's look this up. Gradio, audio, USB, microphone. All right, real-time speech, request for streaming microphone input to, all right, so this was done like 2 years ago. Maybe somebody can give me something. All right. Sorry, streaming audio is in the pipeline. This is closed out of 800. All right, well, what did 800 do? Streaming audio, added live mode for audio streaming. But how do you actually make use of that? Well, maybe I should just look at the official documentation. How about that? Okay, audio. All right, so source is microphone. But I mean, I guess if this doesn't work out, worst thing we could just do the upload thing. I just didn't want to have to do that. Oh, I'm glad I did see this because there's wave and audio. Okay, maybe hold on. All right, well, we're going to have to figure this out together. You can watch me struggle through this. All right, so how do we provide audio samples when using blocks? Blah, blah, blah. Or I wonder... Yeah, because I don't even know how I'm going to get the audio to actually pass. Like, I'm sure there is actually a way to pass the audio back, but I'm not 100% sure on how to do that. One. And yeah. So yeah. What is this? Hey, the microphone input is now throwing an error with the OpenAI Whisper model. Okay, so I wonder if this is not even going to work anyway, because all right, so audio file. All right, so it looks like this person had some issues. Had the same issue today by protect. Oh, okay. All right, smart. I'm glad I saw this. All right. Well. OpenAI servers don't seem like audio files from iOS. No platform likes audio files from, or not just audio files, but images too. Like, I get that Apple did things really smart with like or not really smart, but like they have their own proprietary thing, and that it just doesn't play, like it does well on the iOS platform, but it doesn't like to play with other things well. Okay. I am frustrated with myself for not testing this with my actual microphone. Okay, but this is pretty cool. But you could see like how, like, the idea of what it's gonna do. Well, I'm wondering. I wonder what this does. All right, audio record from microphone. Where is that? Where's this GitHub page? All right, so transcribe. But how did you use the transcription here? All right, so with that. All right, so reproduction, original code that no longer works. So that all works, but how do I actually pass the audio file from my microphone to this dealio here? Hold on, I'm just trying to make sure that everything's going okay still. All right, I don't know. Well, I'm just out of sheer curiosity, I'm gonna test out what the file functionality looks like. It was a file. I can't remember what it was called. It was just called microphone. No, that is not what I wanted. All right, source is upload. Upload, okay. And then default's actually upload. So if I take, we'll just call this upload. Upload. All right, let's go back to the Gradio interface, because I just want to see if it will at least allow me to load in one of these files that I already pre-recorded. Just so we can keep going. Like, obviously, you know, it would have been cooler if we could have done this microphone thing. And it would probably work, you know, honestly, it would work on your own computer if you did it. It's just that I have a goofy setup with the whole live streaming kind of thing. Like, if I was just on my MacBook, this would have probably worked just fine. And this is the problem that I've had with other things before, too, is when I start connecting extra peripherals to my computer, then like, these libraries don't really like to play well like that. I got a cough. Okay, what was I doing? I was looking for my thing here, my data, my Whisper, my live stream intro. Can I upload that and play it?
So I just want to start recording this.
Okay, so it is something going on with my microphone. Well, you know what? I want to try something. Microphone. Because I saw this little icon show up here a second ago. I want to Safari to use. Can I change the microphone source? Always allow on localhost. All right. Yeah, still nothing. All right. All right. So radio, audio, USB microphone with speaker verification. What is? Oh, I don't think that's what I wanted to see. All right. Well, you are getting to see my process for how I debug things. Yeah. But the good news is we already got like the core functionality out of the way, so that's good at least. All right. All right. Microphone. Select USB input. All right. Maybe input bugs. Type is NumPy. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Just for context, what I actually like to do with these GitHub issues is I look for the ones that were hearted or thumbs up the most, because usually that's the one that has like the fix in it. So if you ever are like looking for like a fix to something on GitHub, just know that that's the little trick I like to use, and it usually works most of the time. All right. So microphone. All right. I know I just read this one, but I need to reread it because I kind of just blew past it. And if I use NumPy mode, it just sends a weird shape. That's interesting that you could load it as in NumPy mode. All right. I'm tempted to ask. Well, I mean, not right now, but another time. Like, I know a guy that works for Hugging Face. I'm tempted to ask if he knows what's going on here. All right. Well, I guess we're not going to be able to figure that out per se. But all right, so let me see how we actually... Let's just do the upload, because I'm tired. Like, I don't want to have you guys to watch me stumble around here. Or if you're watching live and trying to do this with me, feel free to drop it in the chat if you figure this out. Okay, so let me check. All right, so interactive, yes, streaming, if true, will be in a will only be in a live interface. All right, format is wave. All right, and then how do I actually make use of the audio if I wanted to, like behind the scenes, Maybe there's an example in here. Try examples. Generate tone. All right, so that is generating the tone. And what does this do? All right, threw out an error there. I don't know what happened there. All right, oh, that's because I didn't select a note. All right, so we'll do the key of C. Octave fourth. Why can I not select this? All right. You got something. All right, there we go. So, oh my gosh. Submit, darn you. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that, but I play piano, and the one thing that my piano teacher taught me was if you ever want to like be able to like sight read something, not even sight read, like if you hear something and you want to know how to play it on the piano, you can't. It's really impossible for the human ear to learn every single like the frequency of every single 80 of the 88 keys on a keyboard. And his recommendation is just learn one key. And so I have learned the key of C, and that's why I was able to hum it and know what the key of C was there. And how did they make use of this here? Okay, so they generate, but they're using I don't like this one. I like using just the building blocks, but okay, so audio, slider, where's okay, so SR, I don't know. All right, so generate tone, note octave, and okay, so this is the note. So the drop down's the note, makes sense. Slider is this guy here, and the text box is the label and duration, and then it is passing all those in to here. Okay, I think I know what to do here. All right, so. All right, let's go ahead and create some helper function, or let's create some Gradio, what do you call it? Gradio, what did I call it in my other thing? Okay. All right. Gradio, chat UI, helper functions, layout. That's not what I think I did it as part of the LangChain one. It's not a big deal. I'm just being a little bit picky right now. All right. I don't know if you could tell this. Like, it really does bug me when code is not formatted well. Even my own code. Like, I am so critical even of myself. Like, I want this to, like, I like things for it to look nice. And that's just the graphic designer in me coming out. All right. So Gradio, behavior, helper function. I'll just call it helper functions because I'm getting tired of trying to brainstorm different names. All right, so I'm going to call this def transcribe, and we are going to pass in the audio intake file. All right, let's do a little doc string here. Transcribes the input audio using OpenAI's Whisper API. All right, so inputs is going to be audio intake file, and I think it's a WAV file. It said dot audio file, and this is the audio intake received from the radio UI, and then it's going to return the transcription. Well, actually, I need to do two things. I think I need to clear this out by just passing this back as an empty whatever. I think that's probably what I need to do. Dot wave audio file, a cleared out section of. Well, no, I don't think I need to do that actually. I'm just, yeah. All right, but we do need to return the transcription. And this is actually going to be a Gradio text box. And then the transcription provided by OpenAI's Whisper API. All right. So that's the doc string. So all right, let me think about this for a second. So actually I do need to go back here because I think there was like a GitHub issue that said that they were having like a little bit of a dealio thing kind of with Whisper. So I'm going to go back and look for that. Okay, there we go. So this person, okay, so this is what I was talking about before, where if you see a lot of hearts are good. Love the hearts. All right, so we need to rename the audio. Okay, so it's basically, oh, I see. All right, so I'm gonna, so I need OS in here. We need to import OS. Okay. All right, now we need to, okay, so appending the .wav file extension to the existing audio file. All right, so what is this? So it's going to be os.rename. So audio intake file as audio intake file plus wav.wav. Loading the audio file as a bytes or in a read-only bytes format, as that is what OpenAI needs. And then, all right, so what is that? So I'm going to call this RB audio equals open. Why are we adding that twice? Well, I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. I'm not sure why it's designating that twice. So I'm going to call this what? Audio intake file plus .wav. I'm sure there's probably a reason I need to do this, but or maybe there's not. But we're just going to roll with this for now. All right, so that is opening this, and then we're going to come back in here and we're going to grab. So this was transcribe. I'm going to just copy and paste this whole thing. So transcript. I'm going to call this getting the transcription from OpenAI's Whisper API. Transcription. I'm going to call this transcript, not transcription. And then I need to pass in the RB audio. All right. And then we just need to return transcript. All right. So transcript. Now I need to create transcript equals g equals gr dot text. I think it's text box, right? I need to let me reference my old file here because again, I don't want to spend too much time on this piece. Any questions? I'm looking. I'm just checking to see if there's any questions. We're actually getting pretty close to being done here. All right, so gr.text box. So I want it to be not interactive. All right, yeah, it's text box. That's correct. All right, text box interactive equals false. All right, let's just check on this real quick to see how we're doing. All right, so there's our text box. Yeah. Okay. And then, but how do I actually initiate this thing? Like, how do I actually get it to do what I want it to do? Oh, maybe I need to create like a button or something. Yeah, let's create a button. How do I create a button? Transcribe button equals, here, let me go back in here. I'm just going to copy and paste this for now, but I don't actually want that. All right, so equals, all right, what's the button called? All right, gr button, gr.button. All right, so we're going to, I'm going to say transcribe my audio. All right, so this is going to create a new button over here. Defining the behavior for when the transcribe button is clicked. Why did I delete out that whole thing? I still need the bottom part of this. That was silly of me. All right. Why is there like a weird space right there? You see that? There we go. Get out of here, weird space. Okay, and then transcribe button dot click, and then the function we're going to pass in is the function that we defined above. Transcribe inputs equals audio intake, outputs equals transcript, and then I don't need the Q thing because that was just for my chatbot. All right, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's go ahead and try this out. So I'm going to go ahead and click to upload. I'm just going to do the whisper test because there's a smaller piece of audio here. So, or I guess not.
This is a test of Whisper by OpenAI. I am going to build a radio application that can record bits of information and then use LangChain to do some other interesting things with them.
Okay, that's a lie because now I'm not doing that because I'm feeling lazy. And you know, if we could get the transcription working, then that's all I really care about. So, all right, I'm going to change the label on this. So label equals transcription interactive equals false. All right, so that should change there. It's probably going to reload the whole thing. All right, transcription. All right, let's see how this does. Let's see if this is going to work how I intended it to work. All right, transcribe my audio. Cannot load audio from file. FF probe not found. Please use. Oh, that's because I'm uploading a non-WAV file. Okay, what do I do here? Can I save a new piece of audio just as a as a .wav file? All right, let's see if I can do this. Hello, everybody. I am saving a little bit of audio, and we are going to have OpenAI Whisper transcribe it for us. Let's see how this works out. All right, so I'm going to export this. Export as audio only. Can I do it in a WAV format? I'm just going to load it in the desktop. All right, test.wave. You cannot save it. Can I? Gosh darn it. All right. Is there a thing I can use? Is there like a thing I can use to like go from M4A to M? All right. so M4A2 wave. All right, I'm feeling lazy, so I'm just going to use one of these services here. All right, there's no sensitive anything in here, so it's not a big deal. I would not, don't do this if you have like real data or whatever. I don't know what this thing is doing, but I don't care because this is just like a silly test kind of thing. All right, so waiting for the file to upload, processing, finished. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and download that. Allow. All right, now, oops. All right, so y'all know I like Frank Ocean now. I do love Frank Ocean. I wish he would put out another album. It's been too long. All right. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go ahead and reload this UI. All right, so let's see if this will work. All right, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. We'll all right, so all right, let's check the actual thing going on in here. All right. Cannot concatenate. All right. Well, I don't even know if I need this, so I'm just gonna comment it out for now. All right. Now it's probably gonna reload the UI, which is fine. All right. Let's try this again. Upload. Transcribe my audio. Can only concatenate not string. Well, what if I just took this out? How about this? Will this work for you? Thing. All right. Transcribe my audio. Expected string bytes or OS path like not tuple. Where did it want that at? All right. Open. Not a tuple. Okay. So all right. So it's passing it over as a tuple. Did I not read this right? Like, let me go back to this thing. I probably read this incorrectly. Oh man. Oh man. I need to learn my lesson of actually not being actually being prepared. Like legitimately prepared. Yeah, so because this is not great. All right. Well, if it's a tuple, like what kind of tuple is it? Like is there like is it just like the name and then the thing? Like I'm very curious. In fact, I'm going to just do the thing that nobody likes when people do this, print audio intake file. All right, because I'm gonna guess like the second element of like this tuple is the actual audio file itself or something, and then I'll probably be okay. Let's try this again. All right, I know this will fail out, but this will at least give me the what do you call it? All right. Okay, so it looks like the tuple actually is like the second value here. All right, so audio intake file. I don't know. I don't work with tuples much. Like, how do I actually reference tuples appropriately in Python? It's is it just like the indexing? Let me look that up really quick. All right, Google Python how to reference item in tuple. Not tuple, tuple. Thank you. All right, access tuple items. Okay, yeah. So you just use it the same way. All right, so I'm gonna add this on here. See what happens. All right, let's try this again. All right. Transcribe my audio. Okay, well, what did it do this time? Wanted an expected a string or path-like object, not an ND array. Okay. All right, well, maybe I just need to try Googling this a different way. How to use, all right, Gradio, how to use audio in function. All right, so let's see. All right, so this is a transcription function, sources type. Oh, I bet that's what it is. Type is file path. All right, so I'm glad I didn't delete this out. All right, so let me change this. Type equals file path. All right. All right, so it should have reloaded. Let's see how this does this time. Whisper test. All right, transcribe my audio. No such file as whatever that is. Oh, because I'm guessing that's like a local area. Okay, so I think I'm getting closer, but that was not exactly the right thing to do. Um, How to use audio in function. Okay, how do you... All right, so I am... All right. Microphone file path. What did I try doing here? I mean, it actually did it. Did I uncomment that? Yeah, so I did uncomment that. This might be the one. I might give up on this, to be honest, because this is not necessary. Like, this was just something that I was trying to do for fun, and I'll figure it out later. But I really want to figure this out. All right, let me try reading this one more time. All right, because I keep blasting through this one GitHub thing. All right. Transcribe audio format. So what is this individual doing here? All right. Is audio. Is there a reason for this? All right. So dial wave to the temporary file created by Gradio. Yeah, but I want to see the whole thing. Like, I want to see like the entire bit of code that this individual has. All right. So UI equals transcribe is sources file path. Load the file from audio segment from file. Wait, what is audio segment? What is this thing? Where does that come from? Okay, so you can do the width. It appears. This person tried that here. All right, screenshot used in system info. Severity of the week. Oh, that's great. I just want to see the full code. Like, I don't know why people just don't put the full code in here sometimes. All right, Michael, did you upload all your code? Because I would love to see this. Shout out to if you're watching, which I doubt you are. So all right, let's see if he got this working here. All right, generate voiceover. This is pretty. Wait, what is audio segment? Where is this audio segment thing coming from? PyDub. Okay. All right, so he's doing something a little bit more complex here than maybe I was thinking. All right, so what's on your mind? Therapy chatbot. This is pretty okay. Whoever this individual is, this actually appears to be pretty cool. Because it looks like what he did here is basically creating a audio version of like a ChatGPT for therapy. Which, just to be perfectly clear, I wouldn't recommend using ChatGPT in a therapeutic method. But I mean, it's a cool idea. Just and I don't know. Maybe it does an all right job with that. But like, you should. You know, if you have mental health issues, you know, please go see an actual professional. But it's still a cool idea. Like, I really like this idea. But yeah, this is starting to get a little bit too complex for me to want to do on a live stream. And frankly, I want to get back to playing Zelda. So, all right. Well, the end of this ended up being a little bit of a bust, but you know, the core functionality proved itself out, and I think I'm just being silly with something. But like I said, I just want to get back to playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because, my goodness, is that game amazing. So a funny little story about that. So, like I said, I was in Atlanta earlier this week. I got to meet my coworkers, and I was chatting with them. There's 13 of us on the team, and I think 6 of us are playing Tears of the Kingdom. And now let me take a guess. So if 6 of us are playing and 5 others are also playing, who do you think has played more? All 5 other people, or me? And the answer is me, or I have played more than all of them combined times 2. If that tells you how much I played. So that's considering I didn't even get to really play at all when I was in Atlanta because I was super busy. Yeah, so it's a great game. As you can tell, you know, the Triforce here. I don't know if you can see this up here. I think I've referenced this before. This is actually like I found like a watercolor rendition of the Breath of the Wild kind of artwork here. So it's just hard to see because this reflection here, like this little angle right here, I can't point well. That's just a reflection. Well, I'll show you. It's just a reflection of my TV over there. And then you can see like some other books and stuff. And then I moved. Oh yeah, I moved all my Zelda amiibo like down here recently. Okay, well, we'll call it here. Yeah. Hope you all have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we will be back with more generative AI content. I really want to do something around enhancing completions with embeddings. I just haven't had the time to research. I understand the concept of it. I just haven't had the time to actually try to implement that yet. So that'll probably be the next live stream. I don't know if we'll do one, if that'll be next week or the week after. But yeah, we'll call it there. Hope you all have a great weekend, and thanks for watching me stumble through this stuff. See ya.